So a flea, how big is a flea?
Tiny.
Tiny, absolutely tiny.
Yeah.
So they have these flea circuses where you can actually go and see these fleas. Okay? You can go and see these fleas and they do all these kind of tricks and it's really, really cool. So to train the flea, because a flea can jump so far, like so far, the flea's equivalent is us jumping the length of the Empire State Building. Okay? That's literally the equivalent if it was to scale.
Wow.
So to stop all these fleas, if I just put loads of fleas here, what would happen?
Jump.
They'd jump. I would say, okay, fleas, just stay still. I'll be back in 5 minutes. What are they going to do?
Jump.
They're not going to piss off, right? They're not going to be here in the next 10 minutes. So we need to train these fleas. So what they do is they put them in a jam jar. You can Google this if you don't believe me. A lot of people are thinking I'm having a mental breakdown at the moment. This is true. So they put them in a jam jar. Okay? Then they put the lid on the jam jar. Other, what's it called? Preserves are available. And then so the flea then, the first time it would jump up, what would happen to the flea?
It's the roof.
It's going to hit his head. Okay? And then if you hit your head, what do you normally do? Let's say you walk into a pole and you hit your head, what do you normally do?
You walk around the pole.
Yeah, fuck, that hurt. Then do you go and walk into the pole again? Oh fuck, it hurt again. Then do you walk into the pole again? No, because you realise that's dangerous, so I'm going to avoid doing that again. Now the fleas aren't as intelligent as what we are, because they're only really, really small. So they go back down to the bottom again and think, oh, that was unusual. So they boom, all the way up again, and he hits his head again. Okay? And what do you think happens to the flea? Falls to the bottom. It doesn't die, mate. No animals are harmed. So it falls to the bottom and it hurts. But then after a while, the flea thinks, okay, that's hurting. That's not working. So then the flea then jumps 3/4 of the way up, just so it avoids kind of hitting the roof, hitting the jar.
Huh.
And this will happen over and over and over and over again until, like, let's say in a day or 2 days or 3 days time, the owner can take off the jam jar lid, and then the flea jumps up. Do you know how far the flea jumps?
3/4.
3/4. It jumps exactly the same height. Now it can jump even further now because there's no lid on the jar, but it's actually conditioned itself only to jump to that amount. It's actually set a limitation on itself. Okay? Now sometimes we've got to be careful that we don't fall guilty of us setting limitation on ourselves or listen to other people who will set a limitation on yourself.